And therefore, if I didn't get it then, I would have gotten it eventually. But I know that at that time, and when I describe overdosing on drugs, which I've kept, very private for years and years and years.
Alec Baldwin, and what would happen if he goes behind bars? Having spent over 35 years in the industry with 84 movies attached to his name, one would have expected that Alec Baldwin would be above misfortune or mistake, at the very least. But it seems that no one is above misfortune or mistake, as made evidence through the tragic incident on the set of the unfinished movie Rust in October 2021. While rehearsing a chapel scene, Alec Baldwin is said to have shot Helena Hutchins, a 42-year-old who was the movie's cinematographer. While most people, including the deceased family, agree that it was simply a tragic accident at first, things have taken a new turn as Santa Fe's DA office made a shocking announcement on January 19th that Alec would be charged to court on 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. One of the 2 charges is so serious that its punishment could ruin Alec Baldwin's career and family in untold ways if found guilty. Stick around through the length of this video as we examine the tragic charges of manslaughter filed against Alec Baldwin and one other. Plus, we will examine what really happened and what chances of walking free legal experts foresee for Baldwin. To wrap the whole thing up, we'll look at what could happen to Baldwin if he was ever found guilty of any of the charges leveled against him. Before we begin, please take a few minutes to ring that notification bell, click the like button, smash that subscribe icon, and share to support us and for you to never miss out on other great content like this. Let's dive right in. If you find it hard to recognize Alec Baldwin, you're either an alien who just came to planet Earth, or you belong to the part of the world where Hollywood movies and production are regarded as taboo. This is because owning a TV and not having seen 1 or 2 of Alec Baldwin's movies or productions is almost impossible. This guy is literally a Hollywood legend. He has produced and appeared in nothing less than 84 movies, some of which are blockbusters, like Mission Impossible Fallout, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, The Boss Baby Family Business, Madagascar Escape to Africa, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, The Aviator, The Adventures of Pluto Nash, Pearl Harbor, Thick as Thieves, The Getaway, Miami Blues, among many others. He has hosted several television shows, including the Saturday Night Live 40th Anniversary Special, The Alec Baldwin Show, and even the 42nd Academy Awards. He has also appeared in 9 documentaries, 2 video games, and 11 stage plays, including playing Macbeth in a 1998 The Public Theater show. He's a legend who has been in Hollywood for at least 35 years. For such a renowned actor, voice artist, and producer, one would expect that he is above mistakes and misfortune. But as it turns out, accidents happen, and no one is exempted. It happened that 2 years ago, on October 25th, 2021, while filming a chapel scene in a yet-to-be-released movie titled Rust, Alec Baldwin was given a Colt 45 caliber prop gun from Dave Halls, who happens to be the assistant producer for the movie. Baldwin was both the lead actor and a producer for the movie. According to Alec, Dave had told him that the gun was a cold gun before handing it over to him for rehearsing the scene. Cold gun is a term that they use in the movie production industry to refer to a gun that is not loaded. So, while rehearsing the scene, Alec pointed the gun toward Helena Hutchins, the movie's cinematographer, and Joel Souza, the director. The gun fired and discharged a live bullet, which fatally struck Helena in the chest and proceeded to hit Joel, the director, in the shoulder. Helena was immediately flown to the University of New Mexico Hospital, where she died some minutes later. The director, Joel, was admitted for treatment at Christus St. Vincent's Regional Medical Center. The following day, Alec issued a public statement regarding the incident via his Twitter handle. His tweet reads, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Halyna Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I am fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred, and I am in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family. My heart is broken for her family, their son, and all who knew and loved Halyna." 42 years old, Halyna is survived by her husband Matthew and Andros, their 9-year-old son. On February 15, 2022, it was revealed that the family of Halyna had sued Alec and other members of the Rust cast, claiming that their carelessness and cost-cutting resulted in Halyna's untimely death during filming. The lawsuit was resolved for an undisclosed sum, with Matthew given the role of executive producer of the movie as part of the settlement. After Alec and the family negotiated an undisclosed settlement, Halyna's widower, Matthew, declared he had no desire in indulging in recriminations. "All of us believe Halyna's death was a terrible accident. I am grateful that the producers and the entertainment community have come together to pay tribute to Halyna's final work. And every dispute ended there, or so it seemed." Therefore, it comes as a shock that 1 year later, on January 19th, 2022, Santa Fe's DA announced that Alec and the movie's chief armorer would be charged in court for involuntary manslaughter. And to make matters worse, Halyna's husband, Matthew, has gone back on his words, since the Hutchin family supports the charges. The DA's office also revealed that Dave Halls, the assistant producer who handed Alec the gun, has pleaded guilty to negligent use of a deadly fire weapon, which is considered a misdemeanor. Therefore, based on the deal he's made with the DA, which includes testifying against Alec if the case should go to court, Dave will get a suspended sentence and 6 months of probation. So many aspects of this incident make the case a tricky affair. First, the witnesses at the accident scene all gave conflicting accounts. Some of the crew members argue that there were several safety lapses on the set of the movie. It has even been reported by the Los Angeles Times that there were evident safety lapses even before the October 25th fatal accidents. The report says that a few hours before the accident, 6 union camera crew workers who were part of the movie's crew called it quits due to what they cited as unsafe working conditions, long hours, and late paychecks. The report also says 2 accidental gun discharges happened on set some days before the accident. It is supported by Lane Looper, the A-camera first assistant who resigned from being part of the movie's crew just the night before the fatal shooting of Halyna. According to Lane in an email, so far there have been 2 accidental weapon discharges and 1 accidental SFX explosives that have gone off around the crew between takes. To be clear, there are no safety meetings these days. While some crew members, such as Lane Looper, argue that there was lots of safety negligence on the movie set, others argue that there were no safety lapses and no overtime working. These people believe that those who say they worked overtime and that there were safety lapses were creating a false narrative regarding the working conditions of the filming. One such person who feels this way is Therese Magpale Davis, who exchanged text messages with Alec in which she says she is so sick of this narrative. That is the narrative of unsafe working conditions. As far as she is concerned, the production crew had regular safety meetings and worked less than 12 hours. She says, "I worked on this movie. The story being spun of us being overworked and surrounded by unsafe, chaotic conditions is bullshit. Another contradictory report of the witness includes several crew members acknowledging that Dave Halls was the one who gave Alec the prop gun and that Dave had said the prop gun was a cold gun, meaning it had no live bullets. While Dave insists in a deposition he made in December 2021 with the New Mexico Occupational Health and Safety Bureau, cited by Daily Mail UK, that he wasn't the one who had given Alec the gun. Instead, he claimed that he gave it to Hannah Gutierrez Reed. So Hannah must have been the one who gave Alec the gun. Dave Halls also said that he has no recollection of telling Alec Baldwin that it was a cold gun. However, he remembers Hannah saying it was a cold gun. He described the tragic shooting as, "It's just like what they say about an airplane crash. It's like it's just not one thing, you know? It's a system failure." Well, this so-called system failure is about to put Alec Baldwin's career and family in serious jeopardy. Alec had previously charged Hannah Gutierrez Reed to court because it was her job to ensure that all firearms used for the movie were in perfect and safe conditions. She was the production's chief armorer. It is therefore left for Hannah to explain how a single live bullet found its way into the dummy rounds that were supposed to have been loaded into the .45 caliber Colt gun. Hannah says she doesn't know how live ammunition got mixed in with the blanks, and that is where the heart of the investigation is. Both live and dummy rounds were available in Seth Kenny's prop store, which provided the dummy rounds for the movie's production. Seth, the shop owner, admitted to the police that Gutierrez Reed had been using live ammunition on set, but he didn't mention how she got those live rounds. According to Baldwin, this is the key question that needs to be answered. He has consistently maintained that the person who brought those live rounds onto the set and mixed them in with the dummies is at fault. And of course, that makes sense, except maybe in the sight of the DA and the law. Another thing that makes this case very peculiar is that Alec Baldwin has consistently maintained that he never pulled the trigger, that the gun fired by itself. The report submitted by the FBI disagrees, and the DA agrees with this report. As far as Alec is concerned, Hannah Gutierrez Reed should be the only one facing the charges, not him. But Santa Fe's District Attorney Mark Carmack Altwies thinks otherwise, since Alec and Hannah will be charged to court for 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. While one of the charges attracts up to 18 months jail term if found guilty, the other count, which is more serious than the first due to the presence of a firearm, attracts a compulsory 5-year jail term sentence and $5,000 fine if Alec is found guilty. Legal experts have weighed in on the matter and believe that Alec cannot be sentenced on the 2 charges. The jury will have to pick one since the second charge only enhances the first charge of involuntary manslaughter. It is also the general opinion of legal experts that there are 2 things that complicate his winning or losing this case, if the case goes to court. The first is that Alec is not only an actor in the movie, but also a producer. The fact that he is a producer puts a sense of responsibility for all that happens on set to him. He is part of the production executives. The other complication is the several statements and interviews he has granted people regarding this matter since the accident occurred. They believe he should never have said anything without first contacting his legal advisor. They believe that his statements could be used against him by the prosecution team, and that is exactly what the DA has said. They intend to review all interviews in which Alec Baldwin had, in time past, claimed that he has gun training and experience. It is so tragic that his over 35 years in the industry can be marred by this single unintentional accident. And what's worse, it will affect not only him, but his 8 children and wife. Hilaria Baldwin, his eldest daughter, Ireland Baldwin, is currently pregnant with a baby girl, meaning he'll soon be a grandfather. but he may be absent for most of the baby's childhood if found guilty. Ireland is the only child Alec had with his former girlfriend, Kim Basinger. He has 7 other children with his current wife, Hilaria. The youngest of these is only 1 month old. If he were to end up behind bars, he'd probably spend every single moment thinking of what his wife and children are going through. Plus, that's 5 whole years away from his career and a big stain on his reputation in the industry. Bouncing back on his feet may be impossible when he comes out. What do you think about the accidental shooting of Helena? Is Alec Baldwin to blame? Do you think it is truly an accident or a staged plot? Do you think he'll be found guilty? What do you think will happen to him if he goes behind bars? Let us know in the comment section below, and do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.